Hello again, everybody. Welcome if you're new here. Welcome back if you've been here before. Pretty special bike on the stand today, for me, anyways. A pretty rare bike. I bought this a few months back in the winter, and I had to. This is another bike that I had to drive about 2 hours out and 2 hours back, but I didn't mind it at all. It's just a gorgeous bike, well worth it. Let me bring you guys in for a closer look, so you know what I'm talking about. It's a 1985, I'm guessing, Peugeot Canyon Express, made in Japan. Just a gorgeous color, in great shape. It's got a few rust spots, just surface rust spots all through the frame, but nothing major at all, just a little surface rust. Can you believe these wheel guides work? They're not bent. That's one of the first things that go on these old frames, but they're in great shape. Let's go through the frame here. The decals are in great shape. This one here is the only one that's a little messed up, but other than that, the rest of them are in great shape. The head tube one and the other one. The handlebars, Nito, Bull Moose, Santur, friction thumb shifters, the Sugino crank. The chain rings are a little dirty, of course, but in immaculate shape. How cool does that fork? Very cool. Diacomp brakes, original pads. I mean, they're Diacomp pads at least. I'm guessing this bike got very little use. The Santur front and rear derailleurs, not the best reputation for shifting performance, but they're such nice intricate pieces that go so nice with this bike. Tange bottom bracket, the famous adjustable SR seat post, original to this bike. Unfortunately, one of the dust caps is missing on these Santur pedals, but that's okay. The cages are in great shape, no dents at all, no dings. The wheels, Santur seal bearing hubs. It has on both wheels the original lock nuts. These hubs feel so smooth. I cleaned up one of the rims. I couldn't wait. Cleaned up great. It was, yeah, the bike had these slicks on it, and pretty dirty, but under all that dirt, just everything is in absolutely great condition. So yeah, I'm pretty excited to get started on this bike. So I'm gonna do just that. I'm gonna get started. You guys sit back and relax. So we're gonna start with cleaning up the derailleurs here. The Santur Mountech doesn't have the best reputation for shifting performance, but it is such a beautiful piece, both of them. They're such nice, intricate pieces, and they're original to the bike, so I'm going to keep them. This bike is not about performance. This bike is going to be sort of a cafe cruiser type of build. So, and this derailleur is certainly good enough for that kind of riding. So we're going to give it a good clean. It's actually, I can tell it's in great shape. All the pivots, everything is very tight. The spring is very tight. This pulley here, which is infamous for getting stuck, is sort of free, and I'm sure I'm gonna get it more to turn more free. I'm gonna take this pulley off, but just clean up the rest of it. So let's get started. As usual, I'm using Varsol here. I find it does a great job of getting rid of grease, dissolving grease and dirt. just gonna get most of the dirt off here as much as I can with the brush, and then it's gonna go into the ultrasonic cleaner for a deep clean. To be honest, I'm not sure if I'm going to use the front derailleur. I might convert this to a 1x, but you know, all the original pieces, of course, will go with the bike in case the person who gets this next wants to bring it back to its original state. Little seal here for the headset. You don't want to lose that. It's going to do these bearings for the headset. So I'm just going to throw them in there. Actually, the headset race is in great shape. So is the rest of the headset. Some marks here on the lock nut, but overall in great shape. Okay, let's get to the bottom bracket. Even got the dust caps in great shape. Sometimes I'll be afraid to take these seals off because they will have hardened and they'll just break off, but these are nice and soft still. The cups are in great shape as well, no pitting whatsoever. Beautiful. So all this will go in the ultrasound cleaner. So initially I just cleaned up the pedals, but they're in pretty good shape. Actually, they feel very decent, but one of them feels like there's not much grease left in there. I was just gonna put some oil in there, but then I said I just didn't feel right, so I'm gonna take them apart. They're such good pedals. I know they're in great shape, and if I take them off, if I take them apart and clean everything up, put some grease in there, and adjust them right, they're gonna be good for the next 40 years. So that's what I decided to do. I'm taking them apart. Now adjusting these can be a little tricky. You just gotta go by feel, and sometimes you get lucky, just like I did, and there's no play at all there. And I'm gonna tighten it down now, just a touch more. Sometimes you get it right away. Oh, I'm happy with that. Now I'll put some more grease here. So having the cage apart like this, taking it off is also going to give me a chance to put some grease on these little bolts, so that maybe in 20 years the next person that takes these apart, hopefully, will thank me, because I had problems with when I was taking a couple of those off. They've been in there since the pedal left the factory, I suppose. Damage the heads of any of these. These are 2.5mm Allen key. I damaged, a couple of them, one on each pedal, of course, one on each pedal would not come off. And I just used a different, of course, a 3mm would be too big. I used an Imperial Allen key, whatever size it is. That's just a little bigger than a 2.5, and it fit in there right away. So in case you go through the same thing, keep that in mind. If you round out an Allen key head, just try an imperial size. That's just the next size up. It fits perfectly actually. I'm going to be able to tighten it. I put those two separate. One of them I used here. And yeah, I was able to take it off, and I'm going to be able to tighten it down properly. Just a little bit goes a long way here. Does wonders. That's it. Make sure they're all tight. And we have rebuilt our pedal. Oh, this is the one that's with the rounded head. So I'll use the perfect. There you have it. Rebuilt pedal. So because of the fact that this bike also, like most of my bikes, is going to be mainly used in the city for commuting, touring, just getting around the city or whatever. I am going to go with a single chainring. It's the original chainring that was in the middle of this crank set, so I'm not disturbing anything, and because of that I can use the original bottom bracket, and the original chain rings, the two other chain rings will go with the bike in case the new owner wants to bring it back to the 3x original system. I'm hoping I'm not gonna have a problem as far as the chain coming off. I'm not using a narrow wide. Like I said, I'm using the original chain ring. I think it should be okay. It's only a 6-speed, so in the back, so there's not gonna be any kind of extreme chain angles. But we'll see. I want to try it. So this way, I kind of like the silver chainring with the black bolts that I'm putting on it. I'm hoping it'll work. If not, I'll probably put a narrow wide chainring on here. But I think it should work. So this is the original seat post that the bike came with. It's a very cool piece. It's adjustable, as you can see. It's a Santur piece. It's pretty badly scratched. I don't know how people do that. I don't know why people don't just run a reamer on a seat tube or a bit of sandpaper to smooth it out before they insert a seat post in there. But it happens quite often. So it's pretty badly scratched. Let me just focus in on it. I don't want to go like the high polish route on it, because I'm gonna have to go pretty deep to get rid of all these scratches. So I'm gonna try the wire wheel on it. I don't want to mess around with it too much, but you know, I can't leave it the way it is too. It looks pretty bad. So I'm gonna try and give it a rough finish all the way around with the wire wheel. Let's see where we end up with it. So I have two wire wheels. One is quite a bit rougher than this one, so I'm using the rougher one because, like I said, the scratches are pretty deep. Just gonna give it a try and see what it looks like. it looks a bit better. Actually, it looks a lot better. It's not perfect, but like I said, I'm not gonna mess around with it too much. Yeah, they're much harder to tell, the scratches right now. So almost all the parts are ready. These are the parts that we're not going to use: the front derailleur and the two chain rings. Pedals rebuilt, re-greased. The rear derailleur looking pretty good, nice and clean. The seat post turned out decent. Bottom bracket all cleaned up. The headset bearings. The brakes polished, cleaned. The chain ring. The fork is sitting there, so I'm going to start assembling. It's actually looking great in there for not bad for a 40-year-old frame. So let's start putting the bottom bracket in. Just put quite a bit of grease in the cup, in the fixed cup, and I'll install it like that with just the grease, and I'll put the bearing in with the axle. Just go reverse some like this till it clicks in, and then we go in the let's grab our tool. So this is of course a reverse thread, tightens counterclockwise, but what I like to do to make sure sometimes that you're catching the right thread, go clockwise till you hear that click, and then you can start going the right way. You know you've caught the right thread. So I'm pretty happy with the way that tool is on that cup, pretty tight. It's a really nice tool that fits it pretty good. For fixed cups, what I like to do is get my adjustable on there and get this long breaker bar, and then of course I'll be supporting the frame from the back as I tighten it up counterclockwise. I had a guy in the comments a couple of weeks ago. He was saying I'm doing it wrong, that my arms are no match for his legs. He would be able to drive this cup loose because he's so powerful, and that I should put this tool on here and hit it with a hammer. You get all kinds of comments, but he was wrong about a couple of things. First and foremost, it's not called a hammer, it's called a knuckometer. And secondly, yeah, you shouldn't use a hammer on a fixed cup and sort of like beat the shit out of the tool and the cup itself with a hammer. But a nice big breaker bar, and you get a nice feel of how much you're tightening it, and that's on there pretty good. That's not coming loose. So we're going to put our plastic sleeve in. These can be tricky, Some of them fit really good, some of them not so much, but let's see how we do with it here. Just want to get in the between the cage and the bearings there as much as we can. And the cup, of course, has plenty of grease on the other side already. And we'll do the adjustable cup. Okay, that bearing's got grease all over it now. Again, we'll go opposite way of the threads. There you go, heard that click. Now we can go the correct way. This one is a bit tight, I think. I'm gonna use the tool. No. I don't think that's in. Okay. Let's try that. No, that's not right. All right, let's see. Yeah, like I said, those plastic sleeves sometimes give a little trouble. It feels like it's catching, but it's not. Okay, let's... Okay, there we go. That click trick usually works, so... Oh, that actually feels really good already. Put our lock ring on. Like to put a little grease here. And I also like to put a dab of grease on the inside of the lock ring so that when it hits the frame, it turns freely, it doesn't bind up against the frame and turn the adjustable cup with it. It helps, I find, in the final adjusting and tightening of it. So because there's oil on the inside of this ring now, it'll slide smoothly against the frame and then not turn the adjustable cup with it. Just a dab of oil, doesn't hurt. I don't know if it actually, I think it actually helps. I feel like it does, but no, I don't think this tool is the right tool for this. No, it's not. Okay, so I don't have the proper tools. I don't have a way to hold the fixed cup, so I'm just going to do it by feel. But what does happen, you almost have to little bit like over tighten the fixed cup, because as you go for the final locking of this ring, as this goes against the frame, of course it pulls out the cup a little bit. So you got to compensate for that. If you do it just right now, as you tighten this against the fixed cup, it'll pull it out and your axle will be too loose. So you sort of have to over tighten the fixed cup just a touch, so that when you go and lock it up with the lock ring, as it pulls it out, it's just perfect. That's the way I do it. So I just got to back up that the adjustable cup just a touch. Tighten it up. Yeah, so that feels a bit tight now. I'm actually going to go a touch more. Gotta be careful here. It's not the best tool. I don't want it to slip, but that's all I got. Yeah, see, one good thing, I think that oil is helping. Now, as I tighten this, my adjustable cup is not turning. Turned a little bit. Okay, I'm just gonna leave it there. That's perfect. Oops. Yeah, I'm happy with that. So I have the bottom cup full of grease. I've got my bearing on the fork here. I have the top cup with the bearing and my seal. Just gonna put it together. I love these old bottom brackets, headsets. They're just quality parts. Even after years of use, it feels so nice and smooth. Just incredible. Put our little lock ring here. Put a dab of grease here. Tool fit this? Yes. So of course here we want to be as loose as possible without having any play. So it was it felt just a touch tight, so I backed off the adjustable cup, and I'm just gonna keep doing that and until it locks against the top nut, and we should be good. Yeah, that feels great. So I had these little all this hardware sitting in some evaporust overnight. I mean, they turn out like brand new. You just leave them in there and everything comes out like no scrubbing, no cleaning. Everything comes out beautiful. So I'm gonna assemble the shifters. I actually, let's put this here. Yeah, can you believe these handlebars are 40 years old? I cleaned them up with a bit of steel wool and they came out beautiful. So put this bolt here. I like to put a dab of grease here as well so everything comes together nice and smooth. And we'll grease this up a little. And we'll reassemble the shifters. A little grease there. Oh, what am I doing? Yeah, these go on first. You tighten these on the handlebar and then the actual shifters mount onto these. I've actually polished these up as well. They came out really nice. I polished both of these and the shifters themselves. So we'll mount those up. Oh, we have to reassemble the brake levers. I gave these a quick polish as well. Okay, let's go mount these up. I have this little adjuster barrel in evaporust as well. So we'll mount that up. So I pulled out the freewheel here to give it a good clean from the back, and I also wanted to get in the back of the chain, the torque disc here, clean that up. And while it's out, of course I'm going to do the inside of the hub here, the rear hub, get all in here. I decided to add these gold color barrel adjusters that I had, just for a bit of color, not too much.